Good morning and welcome to Rise and Grind 24/7. You have reached the hottest motivation webcast in the cyber community today. I'm Herb Bailey. I'm in South Carolina. Speaking of hot, it's in the 90s for like the next 10 days here. And she is...
Hey, this is Jenna and we have ideal weather here in New York today. 75 to 85 is probably where I want to be every single day.
That's perfect. That's perfect weather right there.
Exactly. It's not raining, so Seattle has gone away. I know Pennsylvania, you guys got hit, so I feel for you. We have a big following in Pennsylvania. New York, we got our share because let me tell you something. Our plants did not bloom until very late this year because of the lack of rain. But when it came, oh my God, we were calling, Noah, come pick up your ark.
The ark.
I just did that with the most Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, that was a good Brooklyn
accent that I can possibly come up with.
Noah, where's your ark? Yeah.
Good morning and happy Monday to all you dream chasers and dream builders out there. This is your fabulous Monday edition. And I have actually, you know what? My question is, does anybody wake up with music when their alarm goes off? Because I know I don't have an alarm, but
yes.
What do you listen to?
I wake up with music in my head.
What do you listen to?
Oh, no. What do I listen to usually?
No, I'm gonna play something for you. Hold on.
Oh, no.
Hold on.
I probably won't know what you got. You like the new stuff. Go ahead.
I like everything. You know what this is?
That an old cowboy western thing?
Oh my God, Johnny Cash, the legend.
Oh, my name is Johnny Cash. Yeah.
This is what I wake up to.
You walk the line because you're mine.
Let's give him a little bit of respect. Listen to this song.
I fell into a ring of fire.
Oh, that's Ring of Fire.
I fell into a burning ring
Okay, yes.
Isn't that cool? So I don't know what you all listen to, but classic.
I do classic 70s. AC/DC. I like AC/DC.
And the reason why I love this.
I like Michael Bublé. How's that?
Me too. We have a lot of things in common. I'm going to tell you Michael Bublé is one of my favorites. I'm going to tell you AC/DC is one of my favorites. But I'm going to tell you also I'm an eclectic person that likes everything from Dean Martin all the way to...
Oh, Dean and the Rat Trap.
Yep. So Johnny Cash, I wear a lot of black. He is the man in black. He is amazing.
Oh, he was great. He was great.
My God, till he died, his song hurt. I mean, it's just, anyway. So I wake up with a little bit of Ring of Fire because everybody's got a ring of fire inside them. And so why I wanted to bring that up is that, what is the fire that is inside you that's dying to come out and show the world? So think about that and think about what is it that makes you tick? What's that fire? So I wanted to kind of share that with you. And
she's talking to you, TV land.
Yeah.
What is it to make you tick?
And I have a question for you, Herb. Is there anything, if you had a genie right now?
Like Aladdin, that's going to be in theaters very soon?
That can grant you. By the way, Aladdin on Broadway was amazing. But anyway, if you had one wish that a genie could give you, take a second, what would it be? Grant you one wish.
That's a toughie. That is a toughie.
Well, narrow it down. I'm eating my Oreo.
I wouldn't want to mess around with the past because that could mess around with your future. So you don't want to change anything.
Okay.
So because you don't know how that's going to affect everything else. So you don't want to mess with that. I would say
time warps. No time warps.
No. I would say, it's going to have to be a little.
Let's do this. Why don't you ponder that thought and let's revisit it tomorrow. Let's go on to a different.
Okay, I have a little idea, but we'll
I want you to really think about it, and then I'm going to do the same because when somebody asked me that, I'll be honest with you, I do have an overriding one wish, but at the time when I was asked that question, it's full transparency, I didn't say it because I was kind of asked momentarily.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I felt that was maybe that was just me, but now I see with you too, and you have a lot of,
You have to just put all kinds of things. And
right. It's like telling somebody, what is your favorite food? It's kind of like
yeah.
hard for some people because if you're a foodaholic, you wind up, oh my God, I like this, I like this, and I like that, and I like that. It's hard to pinpoint one dish that you really absolutely love.
Sure.
The same thing. So let's take a 5-minute breather when it comes to that. And tomorrow, let's start the show with, if there was a genie that would grant you one wish.
Yeah.
Let's put some thought behind it.
Okay.
What would it be? And we'll revisit. In the meanwhile, let's go back to the fire thing. So in the morning, a lot of people wake up and they either plan their day or the day happens to them. It's kind of like either you're the dog or you're
Proactive or reactive?
Wagging tail. I'm sorry?
Proactive or reactive?
Yeah. Well, proactive and reactive are great adjectives to describe the day. Are you, and I love that verb, are you somebody who wakes up and anticipates what's going to happen and knows how to handle it? Or are you someone who waits for things to happen and then reacts to it? So think about that, because that's really going to determine the kind of life that you're going to have. Are you reacting to people, or are you anticipating what's going to be said so that you're ready for it?
I remember, as you were talking about that, I remember as a kid and growing up in Tolland, Connecticut,
you're going to say
that I was not the best scholar as far as preparing.
Okay.
But there was other things more important to me, like sports, and so I would not study. I know there's a couple of teachers on my Facebook page that are probably going to listen to this going, yeah, we knew it, but I didn't prepare well.
I just laughed at the whole mouthful of Oreos. Okay, sorry about that.
Here's the squirrel thing again.
Yes.
But I didn't prepare well. I mean, if there was a big test coming, I just glanced. I didn't really prepare well. And I remember the feeling as you walked into the classroom, like pit in my stomach, like, oh shit, I'm not ready for this. And it turned out I would get a C or something like that. And because I didn't prepare well. And so I did not prepare for the big test. And that speaks with life. In life, there's going to be tests. There's going to be things that happen that you need to prepare for. You need to get yourself in gear for. The retirement's one thing. When you retire, it's just not going to fall into place. You got to prepare for retirement.
Absolutely.
And and things like that. So when you were speaking about that's what came to my mind is that back in those days where, as a young Herb Bailey, I should have studied more. And but I thought sports was more important than the Red Sox and all that. But I
was the opposite. I was very tall, and I was recruited for all the games and all the sports, and I did basketball and volleyball, but I just didn't. I became a sports buff because of the people around me, not because I had a passion for it. But as I grew more mature and saw that, I love my hockey games, I love my baseball games, I love my football games, I love sports in general. Like I love golf, I love tennis. I love it all.
Yeah.
And I was a studious person as a kid. I didn't study hard. I just reviewed my notes, but I was very attentive in class, and I read. I read so much as a kid, literature, and that's why I think I became such a good writer and got these awards in schools because.
Oh, me too. We're a lot alike with that. Is English and writing came very easy to me because it was a passion and it was a gift. So. I wasn't worried about English as far as another thing. If I was a book for me to read, I'd read it, and I would absorb it.
I think like textbooks, like science books.
Yeah, that didn't interest
stuff
me.
That even myself, I was like, quantitative. I have an MBA in finance. Do you know how much studying I did have to do for that master's degree? and it was
God bless
quantitative
you.
analysis, and I graduated top of my class. And speaking of graduating top of the class, my daughter Mariah made it to the dean's list at the university, and she was selected from a
Kudos,
small
Mariah.
bunch. So
Kudos.
congrats, Mariah. I wanted to make sure I
Congrats.
check that out. Yeah. So she's my
Congrats.
mini me. She's my mini me. I always say I have three kids. Two of them look just like my husband. One looks like me, and that's my Mariah. But in any event, so you reminded me when I was a teacher, and I was teaching like grade school when I first started teaching. I went on to teach college and different types of, now I do professional development coaching and teaching. But when I was younger, I remember this, and you made me laugh when I thought of this, was if I didn't know something in the class, if there was something in the notes, and somebody had a question, let's say it was like little Billy raises his hands and says, what does osmosis mean? Let's just say. And I mean, I know what osmosis is, but I'm just using an example. I'd be like, wow. Now, mind you, have you ever heard your teacher say, I don't know? Never.
Well, when I taught, I said it.
Oh, teachers, I mean, in grade school, I don't think you taught grade school. I'm talking grade school.
Sixth grade. I said it to a bunch of sixth graders.
Okay. Second grade, third grade, fourth grade, they're really impressionable. Sixth graders are getting jaded, but back then, I don't know. But anyway, you tell a third grader or a second grader or a first grader around there, you don't know?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean you don't know? You're the teacher. You know everything. They assume
Yeah.
You know everything. So this was my little kind of like trick that I used to do, and a lot of the other teachers ended up copywriting it. They kept copying it, I should say, not even copywriting it, because it was just a technique. I'd be like, let's use your Billy as an example. Billy had a question, right? And I didn't know the answer. I was stumped. Just like I stump you sometimes, I get stumped, right? And it's like those googly eyes that Herb makes. I made it. I was like, that's a great question, Billy. Does anybody in the class know the answer to that question? And of course, other kids would like want to compete for attention and raise their hands. Go ahead. And then the answer, and when the answer came to me, I'd be like, see that? Excellent. Susie knew the answer. It was really because I didn't remember it.
I had sixth graders that would say, Mr. Bailey, why is it like this, though? And of course, I'm like sitting saying to myself, oh, my God. And so I would just say, Mr. Bailey really is not sure. So let me look in the teacher's guide for a second. And because I was a long-term sub for the sixth graders. And so I was there for months and got to really know them. But I didn't care that they didn't know that I didn't know. So it was like,
exactly. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
Well, my husband and I were former, Board of Ed. Well, my husband especially with special ed, and special ed children, and I don't mean special ed I should say they're challenged, I guess, with special needs, right?
Special needs,
and some of them were really brilliant, but then they had these questions that were kind of like, did you see Rainman, where you're brilliant in one area and then you're kind of like struggling in other areas?
Oh, yeah,
that's why I'm glad.
A lot of kids like that.
I'm so glad they changed the whole education system, because when we were growing up, it was called special ed. Now it's like special needs, challenge needs, and whatnot. And a lot of these people, given the right circumstances, they grow up to be brilliant inventors, brilliant teachers. I mean, nothing can hold back the power of will. And that's another thing.
That's a good. Say that again, because it's true.
Nothing will hold back the power of will.
Yeah.
So I was reading how one gentleman, because I do motivational speaking, and motivational is inside, inspirational is outside. No one could really motivate you. So even though I have a certificate in motivational and coaching, it's not like I can really motivate you. Motivation is a within desire to do something. So I was watching someone, and he had no arms, no legs. He was born that way. His mom was told by the doctors that you need to just don't worry about this baby, because they're going to have, and this was back in the day, this kid now, I think he's like, I'm going to say 50. So imagine back then, When
Yeah.
babies were born with no limbs and no legs, they're like, this baby does not have a shot.
You're talking back in the 60s he was born, so yeah.
Yes, exactly, in the 60s. So as an infant, when it was born that way, I guess there were certain rights that you had if you wanted to still abort or not. And the doctors just felt that because the no limbs and no arms, it was never going to formally develop. But you know what? The doctor said, you can keep the baby and we'll monitor it here at the hospital and we'll see how it goes, because we don't think he's got any shot at living, honestly. So the mother and the father like, absolutely, it's our son. I don't care if he's born with no arms and no legs. If he has a heart that beats and if he has a brain and everything else is functioning, we're going to make sure he's got everything that he can have to survive. So sure enough, the months go by and he gets to go home with his parents, and now he's an adult and you see him. And forget about today with all the prosthetics. I mean, there's a multi-billion-dollar industry
huge.
where they give you robotic arms and, you know, the legs at the vets. You see the vets that are going around the wheelchairs, now they have legs so they could stand on. The amount of PT, I give a lot of credit to anybody who's out there that's a physical therapist. It is not an easy job.
No.
One thing that you may not know about me is when my parents both got sick, my mom had fallen and she had a very bad stroke. So I actually went back to college as an adult with kids to study physical therapy. And I did it as a PT. I didn't finish, and I feel very, it was the first thing in my life that I started that I did not finish. And I felt really bad, but my mom needed me so much. And I started to work at a PT office, and I saw all these sports injuries and all these things that people were coming in. And I realized that, my God, for $70,000 a year, these people kill themselves, meaning you got to lug people around. You got to inspire them to walk when they really don't want to walk, and they're just so miserable because they lost a limb or whatever. And I really decided that even though my heart was in the right place, at that time, I just couldn't see myself finishing this course, which was going to cost me thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars, because physical therapy is no joke, guys. You got to learn all that sciencey stuff that we just talked about, that I was like, ooh, I never got into the nuts and bolts of science and biology. If I did, I would have been a doctor or something. But I steered clear, and here I was thinking physical therapy would be one thing. And this is where I know sometimes we go into a little bit of a thing, and I want to make sure you understand, you may be on a path because your heart is telling you you should do this. Like, I really thought I would be a better aid to help others, including my mom, who's now since passed away, rest in peace, and my dad too, same thing. They both debilitated, their bodies debilitated when they needed PT. And when you start to really look into the field and see that the income that is being derived from the amount of money that you're putting out to do it. And this is where a lot of college students that come to me, they're just like, you know, I'm in student debt like up to here, but the field doesn't pay me. What do I do? And so I'm going to encourage, if you're in that type of environment, always reinvent yourself, like Herb and myself. It's never too late to earn a living doing something that
your dog agrees.
Not go to school for, huh?
Your dog agrees.
My dog hears we have a cul-de-sac that comes and takes the garbage on Monday and Thursday. So my little puppy, out of the 3, mind you, which are always quiet, people are like, how do you have 3 dogs? My littlest one, the little runt of the whole litter, he loves people. So when he sees, when he hears like a horn outside, a car or a truck, it's kind of like he's saying, hello out there. You know, like Mrs. Doubtfire, hello out there, I'm in here. How are you? And
I think Mrs. Doubtfire and Julia Child sound alike.
Oh, yeah, they do. And you do a great Julia Child. Yeah, so once they go away, he stops.
Yes, I do. Now,
I love it.
I was saying, before it was even cool, I remember saying, people need to get out of their box.
Yes.
You know, get out of the box, do something that you are passionate about, not that others want you to do. And, and that's the key right there. And we had a generations of just staying in the box because they thought they had to. And now we have this present generation and generation to come, I think, have kind of got it that, you need to get out of the box and your talents and your gifts need to be shown. And, but it's
very well said.
I just want to say, though, with that, is it easy? No. It's not
scary.
easy.
It's so scary.
It's scary.
You could fail. Oh, my God. That's the worst thing that can happen, right? Failing? Guess what? No, it's not. It's the best thing that can happen, actually.
Yeah.
So you know what I say, right? And this is a great way to kind of like
wrap it up.
Put a cherry on what you just said, because I love what you just said. Do it scared. 3 words. Do it scared.
Do it scary. So those are the 3 words to take today from this motivation cast.
Scared.
Where if you're scared today about doing something, let's see if you can do it. Let's
do
see.
It.
Yeah.
Be fearless.
Unless it's something bad, then we didn't encourage you if it's something bad.
Exactly. I love it. Love it. So so let's raise our coffee mugs if you're out there, your tea mugs, whatever it is that you like. And I got my Dunkin' today.
Yeah.
It was so nice. I took a walk and I walked all the way. What must have been about?
Oh, you just had a little Brooklyn accent there. I walked. It must have been about 2 miles. And I never grew up in Brooklyn or never really ventured. You have that accent, that's for sure.
I think it's from being in Queens, and I definitely don't have a Long Island accent because a lot of the Long Island. So are you from Long Island? That's the Long Island. And then the Brooklyn's, yo, what are you doing? That's like the Brooklyn. Queens.
What are you doing?
I could probably do impersonations of everyone.
The funniest thing. Boston. I was just going to say, the funniest thing is when I've been in Fenway Park. I've been in Fenway Park that you had some New York guys from Brooklyn that came for the game. You've had strong Boston accents, and then when they were yelling at each other, all the accents going back and forth.
Let me tell you something about Boston. Whenever I talk to someone, like, can you park the car? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I like your accent. He goes, I don't have an accent. You have an accent. So it's always
wicked hard. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Wicked hard.
Alrighty. So this has been Rise and Grind 24/7, the Monday edition.
Cheers.
Cheers, and we will be back tomorrow. That's right. We will tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Yes, and the Memorial Day weekend's coming up, so we'd love to hear what you guys have planned. I'm sure barbecues and whatnot. Drop it in the comments below what you're doing. We'd love to know what you're up to.
Yeah, let's
All right. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye.
Bye.